So from there, we were like pretty confident in ourselves that we can make it, and then basically we followed out the plan. We went into every game as confident as we could, and the funny part about that is like the last game was like last game for a lot of teams, and in last game we made a call that we cannot move from here. Let's not give away points. Maybe it's gonna change something. So it died to blue zone. We died to blue zone, and because of that, one team didn't make through it.
The close qualifiers, they were, I mean, for us, we know we're a very strong like fighting team, and like rotations-wise, we have played a lot against them already, and so for us it was like, yeah, I don't know, it was not necessarily a walk through the park, but we knew what we were doing and we were pretty confident.
We just got a slot for tournament, and that's all. We got invited.
Okay, I can't say I expected top 6, but that's like aimed really high. But that's definitely what we're going for as a team. Like, there's only one reason we're here, and that's to get top 6.
It will be very hard to play here because we got 12 games, and we have to play on our level.
Если брать по тому, что мы хотим достичь на этом турнире, то ожидания, от нас самих, это нам нужно в топ-6 попасть, чтобы пройти в next стадию. И думаю, что из-за того, что игр будет 12, то есть у каждой команды, и будут меняться группы, игры будут достаточно интересные, и я думаю, будет интересно их посмотреть зрителям.
Obviously, we would like to go through to the main event. It's like, I think last time we played against this stack of lobbies, it was in PGI Leicester, 2018. Every top team was there. So yeah, it's gonna be definitely tough, but I hope we're gonna make it.
Yeah, we hope to be in there ourselves, but I feel like it's gonna be like pretty random because it's a best of 12, and like small mistakes can cost you already, and in the best of 12 I feel like it's going to be like 3 teams that you expect to be in the top 6, and it's going to be 3 teams that most people would not expect. That's my guess.
Назову ликвид и ВТСГ 2 команды.
I don't know, like I think almost every team from on this tournament can make it if they get like some good zones, if they get like if they win a lot of team fights. Like every team is good enough to make it.
And we are back. That's right. We have 2 more games to go, and they will be on Erangel. Joining me, Froz and Avenger. Gentlemen, obviously that field ending does create some hazardous moments and some difficult positions to actually play for. We saw a lot of people eventually trying to get from the edge of those fields in, and it is very, very unsuccessful for a lot of those teams. Beyond all of that, though, Erangel provides a lot of opportunities for people here moving into the next 2 maps. What do you want to see? Anything in particular?
Nothing specific. I don't want to see anything. I just want to close my eyes and
not a picky guy.
No, I want to see them continue. There's some of the teams that are playing extremely well. They have to continue this kind of aggression. I want to see the teams that it has the last day today. I played yesterday as well. I want to see them end on a really high note. But also, I'm curious to see the teams that are the rivals, like who's going to end on top of each other in terms of Adepts and Tune Energy, who's going to be on top with Exalt and WSG, because it's very close on the standings.
Points, as we have up to the top, Team Liquid. Damn, they are catching up. 92 points and 90 up to that 1 and 2 spot for us.
Looking at the points right now, look at Adept, they actually passed Tornado Energy, and I'm quite surprised over that, considering how far ahead Tornado was of Adept coming into today. They're playing the last game, or last 2 games here for the qualifiers, so they got to step it up now. And Adept, they got themselves a win earlier. Tornado still looking for that one.
One thing for sure is there is a significant difference between 3rd and 4th place. So the top 3 are looking very, very fine right now. But when you look at Group C, the teams that have been participating so far today, who has impressed you well? Who's really stood out? Is Na'Vi a name that's really jumped out to you?
Yeah, I would say obviously they're the highest winners so far for today. It's 42 points overall. Also NLT coming in today and showing a really good performance. Raise Your Edge has also been able to perform pretty well. But the biggest, I wouldn't say a surprise, because they're one of our big teams here. but I was happy to see Navi being able to come in after their 16th place in the first game, come in and get a first, a third, and a second, and playing so well as they have. They're looking very good going into tomorrow.
Definitely.
With like a huge momentum boost. They could be one of the top 3 teams. They could be catching up to our current 3-pack leading right now.
I think Rachel tells us a little bit more to show to us. Right now, we're seeing them getting caught, getting gate kept outside blue and have to fight their way in every time, every game more or less. I want to see them be on the other side of the blue, them being the guys who is gatekeeping other teams. Because in that scenario, I feel like they could frag out so much more, not losing anyone, and we're going to see them get that winner.
It feels like ENCE has sort of been in that position as well, where they've constantly been having to try and fight into the middle circles.
But though they have had some really good placements, 7th, 6th, 5th, and 7th.
Yeah.
They just didn't have the points with, and they've been caught in kind of the last stages where you start coming into a very good position end game, and they were caught either gate kept or pushed or third partied. So they've been kind of unfortunate. They have 16 points, so it's not as bad as some of the other teams we have, but they need to really step up the last 2 games so that they can secure as many points going into tomorrow.
I want to see ENCE being a little bit more aggressive. I want to see him make some more pushes, maybe try to breach someone in a compound. Right now we're seeing him play more of the edge game and just waiting for the next circle before they do anything.
Yeah.
And they also swapped out their drop spots, so now they're dropping in Rostock, which is pretty central on the map. So if they're quick on rotation, they can get into a pretty good positioning pretty early in the game and play from there.
Definitely they could do. You can see all the teams getting ready to go, Martin.
And obviously we have some teams here that we probably expected to perform a little bit high. We have again 6 points so far already. They need to really step it up. Like they cannot only rely on having 20 points going into more if they want to enter the top 6. They're one of the teams that are kind of just maybe a little bit on the outside of the top 6, kind of predicted, but they're definitely a team that I would expect to end in the top 10 and one of the teams that could potentially contest for some of the lower top 6 spots.
Definitely so. All right, gentlemen, the siren sounds again. We are going to Erangel. It's our second to last game of the day, so let's get ready. It's time. We're going over to our commentators for all of the action from the grassy pastures of Erangel. It will be Sims. It will be Pansy. Do you want some mushy peas? I want some mushy peas. Let's go. Sims, bring me the mushy peas.
I don't have any mushy peas. I'm on a bloody casting desk. What's going on over there?
I don't know what they're feeding him on the desk.
Why would I have
maybe?
mushy peas at a casting desk?
Don't know. He's lost his mind. Someone, please get James some help. We're back into things, though. We had the finish by the Naya Fields. It was a good one, actually. I haven't seen that in a little while, so I'm happy to. Now, of course, it's another bite of the cherry for some of these teams. We're winding towards the last attempt for some of them, so it's time to make it count if they want to get those points on the board and put themselves in the best position they possibly can be in.
Let's talk about who's having a great day so far. Na'Vi topping the charts from a really poor start this morning with a 16th place. They've gone first, third, and second so far with 18 kills to boot as well. So good job by Na'Vi. I see a response from Phantom, but it is only 34 points. For these next 2 games, it's do or die. They have to go hard, and they have to pick up at least, you're looking for at least 25 points in order to withstand any chance of making top 6. Hell, that may possibly not even be enough. Raise your edge. Down in 7th. We said we're looking for a bit more from them, and same goes for ENCE in 10th. All these teams that we're talking about now in the lower regions, yes, they get another chance tomorrow, but you want that easy day. You want to be doing what Liquid's doing now. They're in 3rd position. Hell, if they haven't qualified, I'd be very, very shocked.
I'm with you on that. Looking at the path here, Na'Vi. Where are they? Why are they there? I guess they had to get a car at some point, but they might have been able to stretch that a little bit better. But
be a nice home run for them, though, I suppose.
Exactly, they're in a very nice position to head down
circle.
there. Yeah, thankfully. Otherwise, they've been a bit of an awkward spot there, but they're fine. Everyone heading the way they want. I like Unique's approach on this. It's very unlikely to end on the military island, but they have completely free loot. So you get to take your time, head over. Plenty of boats probably over there as well. Even if it moves away, you're pretty safe. You could probably move into Ferry Pier, however you like to play it out. I quite like that from them. It's not bad.
The good saving grace additional to that is that they'll know, Na'Vi, usual place for them, Longwoods, somewhere around between Ferry Pier, petrol station, gas station, whichever way you want to look at it. they never bridge camp. They never go aggressive. They never stop anyone coming across. They never actually come across late or even early, excuse me. Usually we'll see Liquid going straight through them and moving to the opposing side. So for Unique, they get all of melee base. They get all of the loot that goes with it. They'll be fully geared up. But I wouldn't expect any single player to be leaving without fully geared guns, 2-2, maybe a 3 chest amongst them, scopes, bandages, bullets, you name it, everything. Utility, full works. So a strong start, I would expect from Unique, but as with everything else, PUBG, we can't say that for definite. Elegiganten, outside of the circle, Raise Your Edge may potentially gatekeep them. There are possibilities and opportunities to do so. Roshawk, we'll see ends. The old Stalber creeping people, they're nowhere near that far this time round, and thankfully, because it wasn't working for them on the latter stages of PL, it just simply did not work. So it's nice to see them a bit more encroached with the rest of the teams. WTSG, Ruins, a bit of scraggly loot here, but can't really say.
Come on, Senor.
Trying to cast here, please.
Back.
Oh, well, this is a shotgun. Oh, you've reloaded. You've given away your position now.
Unless someone was talking at the time, like there's weird things that can happen. This is bad for Na'Vi in the fact of they're not really, they can't really fight it out. Yeah, he did hear it. Maybe he could get an angle on the way out. I don't think so though, not with a Bison. I always think it's a French gun. It's not, just because of the way I want to say it. Na'Vi now joining up together a little bit more. The problem is with Na'Vi, I'm a little worried because the drop was quite long. Yes, they're in a good position now, but if someone works out that Senya's alone, because that's a very, sought after compound, that's crashable.
And by Tornado Energy moving further afield, this makes their position even more not unviable, excuse me, having all 3 players down. It's a very late man's kind of looting. I'm wondering how we picked up this Unique player from the start, or at least I did, and said, yeah, it's going to be easy, it's going to be good, it's going to be all this. Liquid and Tornado Energy there might just say, no. There are people that are watching this coastline, and things may have got a little bit more difficult for Unique. There may even be the re-rotate, go across the bridge that actually came back on, head towards the east, and then come in somewhere around the eastern to northeastern side.
Yep.
But NLT is a team that they'll have to watch out for because they'll know they're being milled to power if they've done the homework.
This little bit of a scrap between Tornado Energy, Liquid, and Na'Vi is going to be weird.
There's the silent roll.
Not so quiet on the actual pull-up. No idea where he's been shot from. Somehow alive. Shiv, I thought we could bury those, but...
You have just been embarrassed, my friend.
Oh, he just got put in a dumpster.
You have just been embarrassed. That should have been a clean kill.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised he kind of whiffed the first go at it, and the second, once you've lost that, it's the
shaking begins.
Yeah, it's fair game, right?
Oh well. Thank God they're doing quite well, because that was a bit of a slapping. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
To me a lot. No surprise.
It does indeed happen. Mexi, a little isolated. I don't like how split apart some of these teams are around this area. I feel like Na'Vi are a product of an awkward drop for them. But I don't want Liquid to choose to be like this. Again, most teams are kind of sitting around the South Gatka fields, that area, that road that runs through it. Not everyone's even in yet. This is one of those circles that isn't too polarizing at all. If it moves, if it hard shifts one of the sides, sure. But for now, I feel as though we're going to be seeing a relatively normal game.
NLT actually going for a really strange rotate. I'm kind of okay with it. It's we're coming across it. Whoa, that's a banging shot out of the vehicle. Recrent's going to be disappointed with that one because we know the Phantoms are chasing a championship performance. In order to put them through in this one, losing players that early, unfortunately, won't be the way to do it. UIG on the rotate from the northern side. Adepts will be directly in front of them. You can see them in a DVR looking on the map stream. Northern Lights, I am intrigued to see how they fare getting across this bridge. With Unique, Liquid, Tornado Energy, Na'Vi, and Umka all been there. It's just a solid wall of teams. Like, unless you're going to take a boat and go for a weird position, maybe around Prim, and then coming from that side on the western embankment, like, this is going to be rough, and I don't think they'll expect so many teams to be out of position down there.
100%. I don't blame them for think that way either.
Good idea. It's different.
Yep. Giganton, are they going to make the push? You kind of feel like you need to get at least a little bit of control of the buildings, but WTSG are right there. So now we do see the bridge cross coming through. That's Jeems getting first contact, but there's plenty of other teams wherever they go that.
Fad, give the grenades. Give them to Gaxi. Give them to Gaxi.
What is this clown fiesta we're having today?
Let him throw the
Bard,
nades.
right there on the verge. Ready? Holding the peak. Leaning.
Oh, my switch.
Is so 2019 apparently.
amazing.
Bard gonna find one. Bard finds a second. The third slips through his fingers, but where's Miraku? Help him out. I know he's good, but give him a hand.
The nade inside the window, which actually gets the confirmation. Ira finds it this time round. Is he going to go for the res, or will he go for the confirmation of the further kills inside? Ira watches the opposing angle. You'd have to suspect that now they have the information that all three players are still lingering inside there. I'm seeing a grenade being cycled. If he gets that, is he going to vertinate it up and up? He's vertinating. Oh, just a bit too far, but the idea was good. Ghostar may have just spotted Ira here, holding this angle to deny them an exit point on the opposing side and maybe even a flank onto WTSG.
Oh, look at the circle.
Laughs in NLT getting boats. Imagine.
Yeah.
Could be a really good option for him.
Fun stalemate, isn't it? Look at this. Because both these teams, if they stay too long, they're going to lose out on the rotation. So where do you want to go? Do you want to just sit here and fight this out? I guess you have to. Giganton might be cutting their losses and just peeling away. They are, because the circle position's more important. And bear in mind that WTSG have stabilized. They've got everyone back on their feet, and they have 4 alive. It's not all that helpful now to stick around, but they want to make sure they can get out of this if they can.
I don't think we're going to do something weird then and maybe smoke and jump out into smoke, but clearly not. They've got a vehicle, maybe just evacuate the situation here. You've lost one.
Oh, did they just miss?
Oh, 2 of them are flanked on the right-hand side.
I think there might have been a misread of info as well, that hearing those cars may have thought it was them making a way out, but it was Blaze. Whichever way you want to cut it, this is a stalemate. And you're looking at the boys on the flank to be the ones to do the damage. Iro there, popping off the shots. They know where they are. This is frustrating for both teams on both sides, because you just want to back away from this, but you can't. A lot of teams now lining up. Raise your edge, pick up the prime position if you want to look at it in the north. In regards to the north, should I say. In the south, maybe Liquid. I'm not sure. Miraku looking for any option here.
Up on the roof to give him the angles that'll be needed. To be fair, he could just hold them back and let Ira and Seong push up. Vard still holding that backside. Guess the one player decides to make any kind of show or display. Ira slowly but surely moves in for the kill. That's a tag from a different team altogether. Where on earth is that? Who is that? That's actually Ence, all the way at the distance. I did wonder what Nail Up had done, and it just drove the bike like a spoon, but it's one of those things. Tornado Energy actually didn't engage with Navi. Navi have done the usual thing. Okay, I'll leave this one to you.
Yeah, a little bit uncomfortable for Ira there. I thought he might have had that, but gets outdone. That's Ence coming in with some shots. That's from, I guess, Gatka Fields itself. And this battle is just horrible. I actually hate watching this, because no one really wins. It's just both teams are going to destroy each other. No one walks out the victor. Everyone's up on the roof here. And there we go. Giganton do go down, but while this all happened, WTSG are down to 3 now. They're very low on rotation. They're going to just get what they're given at this point, which is a bit of a shame.
Let's talk about repositions then.
Yeah.
Unique going across the bridge. Just drive through 3 teams, happily. Not a problem.
As you do.
Do manage to land on the western side. NLT take Ferry Pier after everyone else has moved on. Slowly but surely, Navi crept away. Tornado Energy moved into their position. Northern Lights moved into their position, so it's just been the domino effect. Melman is encroaching on Navi's position, so he has to be careful. You can see all the SLRs. It's just a range fire of Russian players who'll be looking his way, so he has to be careful. As soon as he goes down, he will be confirmed instantly. Raise your edge. They are in. They're in the center. A lot of people are around them as well. We'll see what the circle does and who this favors. So Liquid moving.
Raise your edge.
Really nice for Liquid to move. Same goes for Phantoms, to be fair. However, they did lose those early people. Don't forget about that. Gatka was the place where we saw ENCE landing, WTSG. These are the guys that are going to be now struggling on this circle. Where's the entry point? Where do you land? Where do you make your stand here? You've only got 3 players left after losing 1. I would say your gear's going to be a little bit battered. You could check the body box of the players on Elegigantum, but they're also going to be destroyed after you have gone head-to-head against them.
Yep.
In theory, there's really nowhere, on the outskirts at least, that's a solid compound for them to make a stance.
Where are Na'Vi off to? They really aren't.
Are they going to hit Unique? If not, will they go down towards the,
I feel
the
they're going to
very
go around
far...
them.
There's a super far-facing compound, isn't there, with the... just before you go across the roads in the barn areas?
Yeah.
It's where you have that huge little hillside, which is kind of what I'm on about here, where they're all stood on top of it. This hillside does extend further down the road.
It could be that one, yeah. I might be their only option. Na'Vi have had a really weird game so far. It doesn't feel like a normal RV game. We actually have a bit of scuffle with Team Liquid, fighting away Adepts, so they managed to live to fight another day. They've kind of moved slightly further north away from Quarry. They're going to move up, so they get the kind of, I guess, you know, first true shot at making a better position for themselves out of the southern teams, as they're in a very good position. The deep, you have to really thread the needle to make that count, but switches away and realizes we got to move ourselves in. Where do we head towards?
I want to see Sakura get the hell out of Quarry. It's a horrible place, in my opinion. I despise it. Not a big fan unless you're on top of it and you can play off the back. It's a little bit better.
Still hate it because you're still so visible to everyone.
It's not too bad in the newer version.
No.
There's more options,
Yeah.
more survivability, more just generally more terrain to play with up there. But where he is at the moment, he's basically just dead and he's no help to his teammates whatsoever. He can hold back, I suppose, Tornado, but if you're in the 3 stack every single window, you go near it, 4 people, one of them's definitely going to get you. Northern Lights.
Rich. Who's winning this game? Call it.
Can I pick 2?
Nope.
Raise your edge.
Same, dude. We believe in the compound.
I like that position. It's a really, 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 really strong area. Outside at the back, you have an open greenery. No one can really approach you without running a very, very fast game in vehicles, at which case, with the compound levels that are there and the elevation, you should be able to kill them. From the opposing side, it's a bit like a castle. You have the moat that runs around it, which is basically the street. It goes all around as that road. Players have to come up and over to get any kind of viewage on you. It's just so strong.
Yep.
Where they lose it, circle unfavourable to them, just yeets away, and then they're in all kinds of trouble. If it does central up...
Will it yeet? Will it yeet? Oh, they're still in play. They're still pretty much in
for
play.
them to win this. If they can
really
defend
so.
it and they don't get hit at the same time from 2 different angles, which we have seen before.
Yeah, it can be done. We have seen teams dug out of this. Exalt, I'm wondering if they use the low ground on this or where they go. They're heading off right now, and I'm not sure where they're going to head towards. That area is pretty rough up here, and I think Adept's already up there. Yeah, they are. So Noki now is going to swiftly get out of there. He doesn't want anything to do with that.
I'm surprised he didn't go for that kill, to be honest.
I think maybe staying alive with 4 is more important to him, but he's risking that.
My only thing against that is that you're showing signs of weakness. I get it. If you've got a strong compound there, fair play. Go back to your teammates, stay alive as a 4. But when the vehicle's coming at you like that, you have first chance to strike. You have the first opportunities.
You know exactly what I'd have said. Why is he out on his own? Because he'd probably die.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that.
I love the concept of when it goes right, it's perfect, but more often than not, I'm pretty sure he's going to lose the 2v1. But, as I said, if he works it out, he's absolutely bad at him. The horrible fight at Quarry. This is why I don't like Quarry, because getting away from it. Every single layer is very visible. There's no easy transition. The surrounding area is very, very rough. Liquid moved away pretty early from it. They headed off into the kind of open area. There is a compound there, but there's nothing really around it. It's just that field. But you have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish teams staring down south. Maybe 6 if you want to carry into that Adepts as well.
We need to take a quick look at the northeast side of the map because WTSG have a team knocking at the door. We got 3 teams. We got Blaze. We got Regs. They're all within throwing distance of one another. Speaking of throwing distance, in comes the smoke. Out goes the player. Perfectix even, excuse me. Does get shot from the distance. I'm liking this.
Oh, they found him. Pokemolodoy.
That helps out this team on your screen as well.
Yeah, Tornado Energy can continue the run. Where's that just come from? Okay, that's from just around the corner. this quarry fight is going to leave a lot of people buried down in those mines, as it's not going to be clean at all. I think maybe 1-2 teams could walk out of this comfortably. I don't think any more. Meltman's lucky to be alive.
There has been a response, and it's done some damage. Takes off a little pressure for now. Rip goes down, Misa lands one. This is all the way on the east. We've got a bit of a three-way because Rage can see all of this fight. It's down on your bottom screens at the moment. Open road like this, no one's really going to... Well, someone will always win, but without casualty. Some team will definitely... They're going to lose players. It's going to be messy. Because once this is done, there's really no movement. You're constricted by Razor Edge's position. They have an eye line all of this, and they
We're about
dictate
to
whether
lose.
you survive or not.
Yeah, we're about to lose a lot of teams here. Tornado Energy back and forth with Northern Lights. As you said, no one walks away cleanly. This is mutually assured destruction between most of these teams, and then a third party will come in and pick apart the points, basically get whatever they can. That'll probably be unique, mopping up a good cover. I think they just got an example there. Nice shot.
That's a belter.
Crisp with the SKS. Phantoms cannot overpeak though here. Got to be a little bit careful. See Blaze down, well I say down there over in the east. Trying to work their way forward. I think they might have just got a step towards it. There might still be a couple of players hanging around though.
Rahina's gone. 14th position will be them. They get another crack at the whip today in the next game. And then after that, they will play again tomorrow. Buster onto Sakura. Down low we go. Ubika also trying to be the flanker here. Blue's on the back. And so is Tornado Energy here. Umka is in one very, very dire straight situation with two teams just slowly but surely walking in. And when Ubika's hitting nades like that, this becomes even more difficult.
They want to secure it. They want to be the team to walk away from this, but there's so many stragglers around here. It's hard to make that quick and be concise about it. D's using the low ground, going to work around those stairs as best he can. Use them a little to his advantage, soaking up those bullets, hoping the teammates will help him out here, bail him out a little bit. As the blue, when it starts to move, they will be the ones to suffer the most, and they don't have much time to get that going. Ubika fancies another go at this. Yes, while the heal's happening, good timing to strike. Gaxi does find Miraku, and the blues on the way in. Swift work from the Phantom, sweeping through, as they now need to work further forward, because look, while this happened, Tornado Energy with their last two players started to make the run, but that's not without people spotting them as well.
Really good repeat there to get the kills, and more importantly, get the placement. Won't get the points just yet, but they'll come from the frags, the tab. Wants to try and tab these ones up. Trico running for dear life. Senya can crest the hill. Might be able to get an eye line. If he's damaged, he'll be able to finish it off. QBE's dead. There's the VYG. Well, they're just running into the wind. Not much they can do here. Tornado Energy, same scenario as the Phantoms. They're all just running down for the completely trash area. Unfortunately, there is that side of Quarry when you have this circle. It's so bad. It's so open. And unfortunately, you just die on arrival. It's unlucky. It's one of those scenarios. If the circle's favourable with you, Quarry can be really good. You can have some really good fights because you get some really, really good ground coverage. But when the circle's like this and you have to play down from it, and you have Team Liquid, you have Unique, who have just landlocked you out of it, unfortunately, there is only one way, and it's down to the grave.
Phantom's still alive on 1 HP. He is extraordinarily lucky that Na'Vi weren't able to plant a shot just a little bit quicker on him there to deny that prone. But for now, the Molotov does the damage that was started by them just a moment ago. As all these players being punished on the outskirts, Na'Vi trying to work their way in against the depths. You still have Unique out there towards the kind of in-between. Phantom make the final move, just sending it forward. But that's not without their own issues down the line. Exalt aren't far away, and Liquid still have vision across this. The north is controlled by Razor Edge, still looking plenty fine here.
Kemba just holding. See if that grenade, where it'll be going. It's going to be smoke, so it kind of denies vision. Also deny footsteps if he is closer. Razor Edge sitting happy. One player left from WTSG. I think they went the way of Razor Edge. I looked at the knocks earlier on. It was in their favor. That nade is close. It's damn well good. It does the damage. Up we go. Senya has made it across the road, and now the time to strike has begun. K-Mind onto Unique. That's all the way across. That was a belting headshot that I just saw as the drill dud came down on the back of the vehicle. Noki will fall. That's Monkey. This is down towards the south end of the circle, looking across Na'Vi, looking across the depths. Unique. Nade off. Na'Vi dead. See you later, boys. Thanks for playing. 10th place will be there. Gravestone. It all comes down to Exalt here. If Jimbo doesn't ruin their fun, if he doesn't move into that nade range position, which for Liquid, it could well be that, they have to get inside the circle, then Exalt could have the time of their lives with the frags here. But Liquid, they smell blood, they hear noise, they want more points. For them, this could be a big game.
Monkey swinging in on that headshot there. Unique are getting far too much attention. I think Liquid might have just turned up into frag out mode, as this is about to get rough. Yeah, Liquid just moved out, and now Pokemon spots them all out, though. This could be huge. Salt could be spilled everywhere with these couple of kills coming in. Oh dear. Feels the force. Monkey's still alive, but the flush is there, and Pokemon just does the hit and run. He's out. He's the only one alive for Unique. And you can see Liquid maybe frustrated with that. They've got themselves an edge of a circle to play with, but that could have been so much more if they were able to make something out of it. Now, what's happening in the north?
Well, Flame has decided to kill himself. Rather unfortunate, that one, because he was doing quite well. Unless it was just a single-handed grenade, who knows, but it didn't go well for him regardless which way we looked at it. Ents were taking a hell of a lot of damage, and that's basically because of Regireg's presence. Them holding this compound just denies everybody else. Remember I spoke about it, the castle and the moat scenario. They are currently kings of the castle, and everyone else just has to play below them. Liquid, really, once the circle comes into the middle, maybe this is a good opponent for them. For now, on the front side of it, where Coldamenta will be standing, that's a free stack build. And if he's got a sniper rifle on a 6 times, well, honestly, you could have a field day. You have to hit those shots, and when you do, they are beautiful to witness. Ent's been held at gunpoint, again, held in check. Sion, yet to show his hand. Whether or not Lynxy knows there are remnants of WTSG hiding up there. Good shot coming in from across the board onto Lost HD. Lazar, he does go down, and he stops any enemies getting to the gate.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hold at the moment. Stand by. We're waiting to see if Liquid can find a way in. I don't think they can. The only way you can really fight into this compound, there's a couple of dirt roads. See the one just to the left of Coldamenta almost. You can deny a bit of the vision, but it's hard for anyone to get up close towards this. Ents could, but I don't think they want to. Liquid making any move towards these guys could be so hard, but look at Lost HD here.
Oh,
he's running out with a nade. Is he going to do this?
Got a hit. You got to hit that because now you're giving away position. If Lipson stands up and sees him. Loss has gone down in a few scenarios where really he shouldn't have done, where it's been a bit over-aggressive, I want to say.
There's a fine line, I think, for someone like Lost HD. You want him to stay confident and aggressive, but you also have to then reel in how much you can get away with in a lobby like this. We are seeing the circle come through. It's a little bit close towards the south, so it does play in a little bit of Liquid's positions. Ferex here. Gonna see Ents for sure. Definitely caught a glimpse of Squeaky there, I think, so he knows there's a few. Ibby's now in danger. Ferex could actually bail out Liquid if they wanted it, or he could get swept aside. We'll see how he plays this out. He might be playing for the long game, 3'd out of his mind as well.
It's a good bit of defense, but when you've got 3 players who could be coming around the corner, might just be what he needs in order to secure a frag or two. Squeaky very aware that someone could be lurking around this corner. Holding point just leading around. Now the footsteps come. Squeaky's got the info for sure, but it doesn't matter whatsoever. Hits him in the head. There's one. Can he follow this up with a second? No, he's saved. And more importantly, Rustam Blue's moving. Didn't realise that maybe Squeaky's dead unless Diggory can just get to him and get him on his feet quickly. Because Team Liquid, they are within reaching distance, but they've actually been held back. A couple of shots from Lynx in that level 3 building we were speaking about, and all of a sudden, well, Ents is safe.
WTSG, though, holding up till 4th position here. Gaxi does find them. Ents back up in numbers, but they do need to find their route in towards this one. Liquid need to do the same as well. 3 teams, big teams as well. The classics, you might say. Some new young blood. The roster shuffles for sure, but the names still remain. Rage have everything they need here. They have the positions. They have a lot going on for them, but I would never put it past any of the teams against them to be able to land those shots.
One of the kills from K-Man on the opposing side to remove the last player from Exalt. When you look across these names, I think it's absolutely fair to say, given the facts of Lost HD, if you call it from NPL, Diggory really the only newcomer to a league type system and a big name. It's, I have to back it up, Lauren, what you're saying. There's just so many huge individual fraggers here. So many fantastic teams. Anyone can kind of come out on top. Loss has been clever. Very, very clever in giving his team more foothold within the circle for the shift. And more importantly, just for the centralization.
I think it's good purely because that ditch, that little defilade, is the one that you'd be able to work up from. Lynx's position towards, I think it's actually Rustamar, is keeping Lost HD safe. There is a little line of sight across that way. Liquid cannot see him. So for now, Lost HD just needs to be kept safe from Ents pretty much. And I don't think they can do much. This could be a send it scenario for Liquid. They might just try to get to the further hill, and that will play in towards Lost HD. You want to keep your eyes on that. Let's see if he's the one on the receiving end. If that does happen, Lost HD will wait patiently. If they do creep their way up, if there's something to play from, maybe there's enough ground, maybe there's enough cover there to play out of, but Gaxy's already found Squeaky. So Ents are being ripped away from this lobby.
Theoretically, Liquid don't really need these points. The people who do are Raise Your Edge and Ents. Ents currently down in 10th, Raise Your Edge in 7th. Picking up frags now would be vital. Rustam Marsh.
How far is Lost going here?
I mean, yeah, actually, I didn't realize that. He is playing Edge. This is going to be devastating for Liquid. That could be a game, literally a game-winning maneuver. We do need to get a quick
Mix is
highlight
moving, Mix is moving, got to see it. Yeah, he's pulled up.
Look at
That's
that.
a
That's what
really
he did.
nice off angle. I was worried that he was going to be taking one-on-one fights against Liquid, but no, he's just got a deeper angle. Even if he trades out in this, he's done pretty well. I think it's a very dangerous game, and it still makes me nervous. I like Lost HD, but he's playing a really big boys game here. K-Mind being basically charged with keep Ents under control. And between him and Gaxy on the other side, they're picking apart the Finns there.
Out of the smoke we go, and Liquid see this. Will they answer back? Oh my word, that's a shot and a half. He goes down, he taps Ibby in the foot and the back as well. K-Mind now forced, looks for the point and tries to get the confirmation. Will go for the bleed out, but gets it before, so that's a nice point. It might not be much, but it could be something in the long game. Jimbo has made it to the walls. He's at the gate and he's creeping, but this...
But it's a 2v3, Rich. It could have been a 2v4. I want the desk to weigh up, was what Lost HD did too dangerous, or was it worth its weight in gold? Because it's a very discussable point. Ibby's not going to go for it, that's fine. They're just going to go for this one and just kind of bow down. That's absolutely fine. He was never going to make the run. That's probably the smartest idea to not feed it through. It's one of those calls that I like seeing. And I like seeing people willing to take them, but it's such a fine line where you can make mistakes. But Gaxy's going to reel it in. We get to hear from Raise Your Edge. I'm happy that's the case. Honestly, in my mind, there's that fine line between madness and brilliance. And I think Lost HD can be one of those players. You want a player to take those risks and be able to do it because it works. And he read the scenario perfectly. But there's a world in which you open up an avenue to a 2v3. It could go wrong. It's dangerous, but the benefit is there.
I suppose it all comes down to what would Mexi have done had he been allowed to stay there? Because that's the trade-off, right?
Yep.
He goes down straight away. There's no real more you can do that. You've picked up the point, but you have removed Mexi, a key player who would have been involved in getting them to that point. But there's still a large open run to get to those compounds. You've still got players in the buildings who can keep them under control and keep them intact. I agree. Was it worth it? Was it right? It's a one-for-one trade.
I think it was right in this scenario, but then you think, okay, well, what if Rostamar did see them? You think of those what ifs, and I always think that way. I mean, but
there has been a few times he's died early.
Of course, but and that's the thing, right? Like sometimes it works out so well, and I like that. I like that he's kind of one of those explosive players that he will do those things, and sometimes it can go wrong, but you have to be able to take that into consideration. This time it worked out perfectly, and we finally get to hear from Raise Your Edge.
Thank you, Lauren. I've got Rai with us here, and Lynx, I'm going to start with you. Tough game there towards the end, but obviously very happy to get a win. It's been an up and down day for you guys, so what does this feel like?
I mean, this feels pretty amazing. Like, I'm not going to lie, it was a bit of a gifted game, but we played it really well, I think. Like, there was only one kind of slip up that we had near the end of it, but apart from that, it was pretty clean, and I think we got the win we deserve.
And in terms of catching up on the points, well, obviously this is the first time we're seeing you guys come in. You've still got a good games to play through tomorrow. You're starting to just feel a little bit more confidence with it all now?
Yeah, we're starting to get our confidence. The first couple of games were a bit rough, and then we had a decent Sandhawk game where it all started to come together. The first Erangel game again was a bit rough. We got caught out by some teams we weren't expecting, but this is definitely a big confidence booster, and I think we're ready to smash the last game.
Ooh, smash the last game as well. So we're going to go for back-to-back wins. We haven't seen that yet in the first 2 days.
Well, I mean, we'll sure try.
And what needs to happen to make that happen, right? Because you were saying it when I just came over here that Gaxy was carrying you guys, but you still managed 10 kills in total.
Yeah, I mean, 6 of those were Gaxy, so he definitely he pulled his weight a little bit that game. So hopefully the rest of us will pull our weight for the last game, and then we'll get the win.
Get the win indeed. Let's see if you guys can get it done going into it. Thank you very much for your time. Let's go back to the desk and let's get ready for this final game.
That's right. Big win for Raise Your Edge there to add on to the points that they've already accumulated throughout today. And you know what? We'll just get right into it. Lauren asked, was Lost HD what he did too dangerous?
No.
No, I
That's
think
the answer.
I think it's a great push. Like, I mean, he pushes himself behind the rock, got a kill for it. But like on the long run, yes, it's a trade, but getting a kill off them that early, put them in a 3v3 in the end. Also, how much pressure that Ents put on them as well. I think it was a decent trade. He could potentially have gotten one more, but the pressure that he put on them on Liquid indirectly with that was just 100% worth it.
You gotta wind it back a little bit more there because Lost was down there already early and throwing that nade towards the Blaze player that was by that buggy. No, he didn't get him with the nade. Gaxi got him after Lost actually hitting the nade on the vehicle, so it was kind of already on fire. But that also made sure that they had the information. Lost is the caller, the IGL of that team as well. So he knows exactly what he wants to do with the team. He wants to get the information, making sure he can make the play, making sure, okay, this is what we're going to do, guys. And once he got all the information, he can basically just direct that. So even if he's died there, it's not too bad.
A lot of people catching one another off guard in some of the highlights to start things off, but a lot of nades as well. And when it came to this area, Avenger, what are you looking out for? Because obviously some players were able to take those prime compounds, but the terrain is kind of up and down along some of these roads.
I mean, overall, the road is really snaking through with it. Like, you need to position yourself where you're able to get into the next circle all the time and make sure that you're not like kind of open off too many angles. Some of the teams we saw Exalt, they did a full send towards the middle, actually got a really good position and some points and a placement point for that as well. But Rayshard, they obviously have this compound for a long time. Also, one of the reasons why it's called the God compound, because it literally has
association with Vigo Vajraganti. Naam Gungunai.
क्या तुम्हें सच में 1% अटैचमेंट नहीं है इस बच्चे से?
नहीं यार अटैचमेंट नहीं हो रही मुझे अटैचमेंट रूठे रूठे in association with Vigo Vajraganti. Naam Gungunai. जागे जागे है अंधेरे
क्या तुम्हें सच में 1% अटैचमेंट नहीं है इस बच्चे से?
नहीं यार अटैचमेंट नहीं हो रही मुझे अटैचमेंट रूठे रूठे जागे जागे